Good morning, everyone. I hope you are well. Sunday morning here in Sydney, and I thought I would do a quick little video on something that I'm cooking up for a bit of brunch that we'll be having later on because it's definitely feeling like Sunday vibes. I have my coffee ready to go, black coffee. Look at this cup. How cool is that? This is a Crown Lin. I didn't even know the design on this cup, but it's pretty fabulous. It's pretty cool. So it's Sunday vibes in our house today. And our Sunday vibes definitely means that, one of the things I kind of have always missed about being on this journey, this lifestyle of eating really well and feeling really good and just sort of taking certain things out of my diet is I miss bread. I've really missed bread. So the recipe that I'm going to be making with you guys today, it is super easy to make. It takes about 2 minutes in total to make. And you have the most amazing English style muffin ready for you. Good morning to Donna. Good morning, Janet. Hope you guys are well. Thank you for joining me. So yeah, I'm going to teach you guys how to make this bread. It takes 2 minutes to make. It is made in the microwave, but if you don't have a microwave or you don't like using microwaves, you could also make this in the air fryer. Probably not in the oven, but you could make this in the air fryer as well. So you could give that a bit of a whack in the air fryer. I'll talk you through that process later. But the actual recipe itself is really simple, and I'm calling it an English muffin because it's very similar to the English muffins, and they're usually halved and then we toast them and we put like poached eggs on them and make eggs Benedict, things along those lines. Very similar. So first thing you're gonna need is a mug that can go into the microwave. Use quite a large one, quite a large mug there, good decent sized mug. And I'm going to make the bread into the mug, so it's like so easy because there's no washing up as well, which is fantastic. So the first thing you need, Martin is asking what's happening with my book, haven't heard back. Martin, the book has not been printed yet. No one has a book copy. I don't have a book copy as well. The book will be available. I'm still waiting for it to come from the printers. If you go back and check your order form, you'll see that the delivery was for March. So we don't have a date of release yet. I'm still waiting for it. But as soon as I get a copy and I get those copies, I will deliver them to everyone who has pre-purchased. So what you bought, Martin, was a pre-purchase. Go back and have a check of your invoice, and you'll see that was actually for a March delivery, and the printers are telling me end of March at this stage, which is good. Okay, so for this bread recipe, or this English muffin recipe, I'm going to be using almond flour or almond meal, and just a tablespoon, like a heaped tablespoon of that goes into the cup. This is the brand that I'm using. I think I get this one from Costco, but you could use any brand. This is an Australian almond brand, which is really good. The next thing I'm going to be putting into it is coconut flour. Now, coconut flour is obviously flour made from coconuts, so this recipe is gluten-free. 1 tablespoon goes in. This is a gluten-free recipe, and with coconut flour, it is quite a dry flour. So if you're thinking, I'm just going to swap coconut flour, I'm going to substitute coconut flour in a cake recipe that normally has white flour, I probably wouldn't, because this is quite a dry recipe. You need to probably follow a recipe if you're thinking of doing that. That is already a gluten-free cake recipe. Of course, I have a few of them on Bridget's Kitchen. So this is the coconut flour that I use. It's an organic coconut flour. 1 heaped teaspoon of that goes in as well. Next thing we're going to be putting in is just a little bit of baking powder. Shorter rise. Anyone in New Zealand gets that right away, the old Edmonds. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder goes in there. I'm going to be adding in just a pinch of Himalayan salt, so not too much, just a pinch, just to balance it out, balance up the flavors that are in there. And the last thing that the second to last thing I'm going to be putting in there is something called nutritional yeast or savory yeast. So yeast is a really awesome ingredient. Vegans like to use in the place of cheese because it's got a bit of a Parmesan-like flavor. So I'm putting 1/2 teaspoon, or you can put up to a teaspoon of the yeast in there if you like that sort of flavor. And my grandpappy used to eat this on toast. This was his morning breakfast because it's full of B vitamins for a start, so broad spectrum B vitamins. It's also got really good fiber, protein content as well, and it's low in fat. But one of the reasons why I like to use it is it does give a little bit of a cheesy, almost nutty flavor to our little English muffin as well. So that's that one there. And the very last thing I'm going to use, I've got to grab it, I've left it in the cupboard. The last thing we're going to add into it is 1 egg. 1 egg gets broken into it as well. Thank you, Amanda. Yes, everything is backwards because the camera is facing me, but you get the idea, right? You've seen the packers, that's all you need to see. So the egg gets broken into there, and I'm just going to take myself up a fork and give it a bit of a mix, and all I'm trying to do is to get rid of any lumps that might be in there. You don't have to be too mad about it. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, just kind of looks like that. So it's I haven't put I haven't greased the mug at all. It doesn't need to be greased. It's as simple as that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop this over into the microwave, and that gets microwaved on high for 90 seconds. Just like that. If you don't have a microwave, you can also put it into the air fryer. You're going to put it into the air fryer, the whole thing, the mug and all, to make sure it's a mug that can go into the air fryer. The mug and all, or you don't have to have a mug. You could literally do it in this type of container as well if you wanted to. Like this is a little ramekin with little handles, which is quite cute. That can go into the air fryer. So 180 degrees. It's going to take about 4 to 5 minutes in the air fryer if you want to do it that way as well. But I've got some that I already made. So here's some I prepared earlier. So you can kind of see what the end result is. So this is one portion, and what I'll do is I'll actually cut it in half, and I'm going to toast them. So they toast up really, really well. And then I can do 2 poached eggs on either side, which I think is really, really cool. So this recipe is seriously easy. It is seriously, and they're still really spongy. Can you see that? They're still really, really spongy. They're not obviously very well, they're not smooth and even, but that's the beauty when you cook at home, is things get to be rustic, as we like to call them, when they're not perfect. They're rustic. So those are the muffins, and I will literally cut them in half. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll grab myself up a knife and show you what it looks like when we cut them in half. Okay. And they, like I said, they slice really easy. And that's what the inside looks like. So now you've got 2 perfect halves of a English style muffin. I will toast those. You can pop them into the toaster. Like I said, they toast up really, really well. But the other thing that you can do with them is I put them into and just dry into a frying pan and toast them like that. You could do them that way, or into a sandwich press. But they toast up nice, and they are the perfect base for poached eggs. If you're wanting to make some eggs Benedict, you've now got a gluten-free, sugar-free recipe that you can use, and it takes you 90 seconds. So the microwave is just dinged, so I want to show you guys what it looks like. As soon as it comes out of the microwave, there you go. It looks like that. So then all I need to do is just invert it. Ta-da! Look at steam coming off it. That's pretty cool, eh? That was in 90 seconds. So in 2 minutes, you will get your own English muffin, gluten-free, sugar-free English muffin that you can then put underneath your poached eggs. So I've got 3 now, so I've got, hopefully the kids will be coming downstairs soon. They'll probably smell food cooking, and we can start cooking some brunch. All right, guys, I will talk to you all soon. Yeah, how simple, right, Janet? So simple, so good for us as well. So I'll talk to you all soon. Enjoy your Sunday, enjoy your weekend wherever you are. Take care, bye.